Guys, another reaction video. People love them. We're watching a video on Buffett and Munger. I've not seen this video yet. I don't like watching videos, but I do them for the channel to do reactions. It's about Buffett and Munger talking about IPOs. You've heard me talk my opposition about IPOs. I've never bought one, and the only one I regretted not buying that I was offered shares on was Google. But guess what? Even if I bought Google at its IPO, I don't think it would have made up for all the other IPOs I was offered that I refused. That's the key part there. So I want you to remember that. All right, so let's press play here.
Stocks actually, in many cases, they look like perfectly intelligent investments.
Charlie, you agree with that?
Sure.
Let's talk about some of the IPOs that have been coming to market recently, because there has been a bit of a fervor. Many of these IPOs have done very well, although not all of them. Lyft shares are under pressure. Uber comes to market this week. And Warren, you mentioned this weekend, you talked once again about how you had looked at Uber about 18 months ago and passed on that. What do you think about Uber coming to market now?
Well, because I looked at it, I really don't want to discuss Uber, and I don't have any special feelings about it than any other coming to market. But I would say that in 54 years, well, I don't think Berkshire's ever bought a new issue. I mean, the idea of saying the best place in the world I can put my money is something where all the selling incentives are there, commissions are higher.
Boom. First thing first. I always say this in my video. We have 1,900 to 2,000 videos, and I say all the time, an IPO is a sales event. The investment bankers aren't these genius financial models. They are salespeople. They go on a road tour to get excitement going. They have an incentive, commissions and fees, to go exaggerate the truth. I'm not going to say lie, but I will say they have an incentive to exaggerate the truth. And that's something I want you to remember, that whenever you're buying something, always try to figure out what are the incentives of the person selling you the item. I sell our software here. I talk about our software all the time. What's my incentive for selling the software? Well, one, I do make money. But two, if it was just about the money, I don't have any advertisers on this platform. I'm not the guy who took on Voyager and FTX and digital and all these things when they were all scams. I own Alibaba shares. We were reached out to by Alibaba to promote their stock, and we said no. And I was an owner of the company at the time. That's my point. All an IPO is a bunch of guys in pinstripe suits getting huge fees, trying to get people to buy the company because guess what? This is the best company in the world. It's the next Apple. It's the next Microsoft, blah, 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 blah. So let's keep going.
You know, the animal spirits are rising. I mean, that's going to be better than 1,000 other things I can buy where there is no similar selling enthusiasm and the desire to get the deal done and extra commissions. That's the single best thing to buy on a given day?
No.
I mean, it's
and I can't think of a time we've ever done it.
Yeah.
Ever bought an IPO?
Yeah, never bought one.
Munger looks so annoyed.
How can it be?
They don't even call us.
Yeah. But how can it be the best single thing to use your money for in a given day is something that they got everybody in the world out pushing it. You know, it just doesn't make any sense.
It's funny. Look at that statement right there. I've said about crypto. How is it possible that everybody in the world, including a bunch of teenagers, are right on crypto and it's going to generate high returns? Just think about that. It doesn't even make sense. In order for something to generate high returns, less people have to want it because that's what keeps the price down. And when you pay less investment, your returns are higher and vice versa. In this situation, you have Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, all these huge salespeople out there pushing the product. And that's the best investment out there at any given time. That's BS. And go look at the history of IPOs. The vast, vast, vast majority do awful. Awful. Let's keep going.
I mean, I'm not saying that necessarily what we're buying is going to work out better, but there have to always be better things than one single issue. If you make one decision on investing, if you can't find something among all the choices we see that is better than something that and like I say, you know, the commissions they've come down, I think, now on this. But, I mean, the highest commission thing that a stock salesman could sell to securities was the new issue. You know, so you have all this push behind it. We like to buy things where nobody's making a dime selling them to us.
Charlie, just
and by the way, I'm not opposed to people making money selling me stuff. But I want to be aware of, you know, whenever I'm told. So years ago, there's an anecdote. Years ago, I hired an insurance guy to insure our properties. And I really hope he's not watching this, but if he is, he is. He met with me. He said, Paul, you got to go with me. My company's incredible. We're awesome. Look at all the things you can do, blah, blah, blah. I signed with them. 6 months later, hey, Paul, I'm leaving companies. I'm coming to Cleveland. I'll meet with you and explain why. Got together with them. That company was shady, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, 6 months ago, you just told me how it was the best company out there. He goes, well, you know, things changed. Things changed that much in 6 months? That much? You have to sit there and understand, like, I'm okay with somebody selling me, but don't look at me as you're trying to sell me a car, a Range Rover, and say to me, BMW is the worst thing in the world. No, just say, hey, it's a great car. They're both great cars. The question is, what do you prefer? If your best way of selling is that everybody else is crap and your thing is the only good thing in the world, I lose all trust in you. And that's what the IPO, that's what salespeople in the investment world do. Here's a brilliant idea. Remember that line from Wolf of Wall Street? I got my next brilliant idea. They're just trying there to get themselves some sort of incentive to make more money. Now with wealth management, at least there's an incentive for money to grow because you get paid on a percentage of assets as opposed to commissions. But that's the whole key here. Let's keep going.
These companies, and I won't talk about Uber versus any of the others, but a lot of these companies are coming very late in the cycle. They've had massive private capital that's been put to work to this point, and they still have massive losses and the need for more capital.
It's even worse than that. Some of them have preference for each round, and so the rounds aren't really fair rounds. There's a lot of lying in modern finance.
A lot of lying in modern finance.
So you're not in favor?
A lot of lying in modern finance. Just, guys, if you're at a table and you don't know who the sucker is, you're the sucker. And I'm not saying that to be cynical. I mean it to be serious. Like if you don't see the fact that these people have a vested interest in lying to you, they have an absolute vested interest in lying to you because they don't know where the stock is going to go. It could be the biggest thing ever. It could be a dud. The point is, if it's a dud, they're going to say, hey, that's the way markets go. If it's the best thing ever, look how much money I made you. This is a very common theme in sales. And again, always ask the question, what does this person get by you buying from them? What do we get by you buying in our community? Yeah, we get $30 a month. Yippee! It's not changing my life, but I value myself and my time and my software, so I'm going to charge for it. But you see our other channel, we don't sit there and promote anything that we don't own or truly believe in. And so far, we haven't promoted anything besides what we own. And that's a big thing here. That's a very big thing. But the whole point is, with investment bankers, they're only paid to push these stocks and get higher price ranges on their shares. They will be given exclusive shares to sell to people to make more money. If you don't look at that and see how it's an absolute incentive-based pay that's only after the person getting the commission, where are they when they're done? The realtor, where are they when they're done? Where are they? They're gone. On to the next deal. So guys, that's the video. I have very strong feelings about IPOs. To me, I just want the company to just get a track record. Allow me to evaluate the company in a stable form. That's what I want. Once I'm able to do that, once I'm able to see that and do that, then I can make a decision. And if I look at Google. I was offered Google at pre-split $60 a share or $40, whatever the IPO price was, which is now $3 a share. The stock's at $95. And guess what? I'd rather buy it at $70 today than $3 back then. As crazy as that sounds, because guess what? All the other ones that I avoided probably went to zero. Thanks very much, guys. Please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. If you watch 4 or 5 of our videos, you'll walk away as a better investor because the more you learn, the less you fear. Thank you. As the market falls, one of the most common questions I get is, what stocks should I be buying as the market falls? Great question. We're going to get into it right now by looking at our process for how we buy stocks.